So, guys, Cole's going to be with us here in about 5 minutes. Um, just so we're all clear, Joe, I know Pete and Bruce, you guys know the drill, but I just kind of filled in JD on how we're going to be, how I'll be talking to you guys during this segment. So just make sure you guys are checking the messenger thing to your your right screen. I'll be saying who's next and so forth. And again, when you see the term wrap, that doesn't mean just stop talking. That means finish your point and then let Cole kind of take it off you. And then usually when I say wrap, that just means we're going to break. Okay?
Got it.
Problem for me is
Roger that.
I have to look closer to see your text, and
Okay.
that's going to make me moving around. You don't want me moving
That's
around.
fine. Let's work through that today, Bruce, and let's see how that goes. But if that's something that we foresee as an issue, then we may need to change your setup moving forward.
I know when you go to a one shot, then I can go look very quickly and come back, but I know it's a delay. So I don't know if I'm doing it accurately or not.
Okay. Well, let's just work through it today, and let's see how it goes.
Work through it, meaning try not to see what you're writing.
No. See what I'm writing. Do what I say, and let's move forward.
Yes, sir.
That setup looks good, Pete.
Is that all right with the dark hallway, or do you want the light on?
Kevin?
I think it looks fine. That's great, Pete.
Love it.
Good. JD, are you hardwired? Or are you working off wireless?
This? That?
No,
Wireless.
yeah,
Wireless.
You're wireless right
Wireless.
now? Okay.
Wireless.
That looks great.
Yeah, his setup looks really good.
The stage managers did it.
Just real quick, fellas. Just so A block, we're reacting to what Gaddis said, right? We're going to do a deep dive into the Astros. You know, he says that that they cheated the fans. So you guys will talk a little bit about that. The B block, that's all going to be about Justin Turner, his solution for extra innings. So I hope you guys are well versed on that. And then the C block, we're going to talk about Jason Stark's article, how this situation that we're having with the COVID-19, how it's affecting the draft and the college players and so forth. And then in the last block, we're going to hit on Jeter renting out his place to Tom Brady. Okay, thanks, guys.
Got it. Do you want me to turn some lights on back there on the ceiling?
You could try it, Pete. You're lit up beautifully, but give it a shot. Let's just see how it looks. That's perfect. Thank you.
Love it. It's a good blue from you guys.
What's up, Cole? Yeah. Well, if you go to the email, Kevin sent it, and he put the call-in thing for you. So all you need to do is hit that link and just type your name in this time. So it's a little different. It's easier for you guys. You see Kevin's email?
Pete, can you tilt down just a hair?
It is going to be in your, let me see. Yeah. Yep, you
Perfect.
see it exactly. So hit your link. Right. So he sent a follow on at 12:44 Central, so 10:44 your time, and it's in your Gmail. Here, I'll forward it to you. No worries. I'll just do it again. You'll have it. It's in your Gmail. Hold on. Let's stay on while I just send it. And then all you're doing is hitting the link and typing in your name, and then it'll put you right into vMixes. As long as if you're doing it from your desktop. Is that where you're looking right now on the computer, same computer that you're going to be using for vMix? Okay, great.
There he is. What up, Cole?
What's going on? Let me get this. Let me turn these headphones on. You guys got me?
I got you. Can you hear
Yep.
me?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cole, could you just tilt down a touch?
So Cole, when you gather yourself and you're good to go, just let me know.
Suzanne, I am streaming and recording.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin. We'll start on a single with Cole full. He'll welcome everybody. He'll go from Bruce, JD to Pete, and then after that, why don't you just go to a single so Daniel will know and edit that Cole's teeing up the story, and then until you hear him say toss to whoever first thought he's going to want to hear from, and I'm going to have him go to JD first. That's when you can come back to your four shot.
So I'm going to start with Cole's single,
Yep.
introduce everybody in a four shot.
Go back to the single while he tees it up. So Daniel needs to all be covered. And once he tees up, just going to tee up JD first, and then we'll get going.
Since I won't be able to read it, you want Pete second and me third?
Yeah, let's do that. So that'll be the order. But again, make sure you're following what I'm doing on the instant message. But let's do that. We'll go JD, Pete, and then Bruce, and then I'll keep you guys after that. But make sure you're constantly looking over there.
Got it up.
Thank you, guys. You ready, Cole?
I'm all set when you guys are.
Yep.
Okay. All right, everybody. So here we go with the A block. I'm going to give Cole a 5 count. He's going to say hello, introduce everybody, tee up the first story, and then you guys off and go. And he's going to go to JD first.
Yep.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, and welcome to Cubs 360. I'm your host once again, Cole Wright on the Marquee Sports Network. And once again, we will be running the 4-man weave. So without further ado, let's bring in our participants today. You see him right there in the lovely chambray shirt. He's covered the Chicago Cubs for 30 years. You hear him over on The Score. It's Bruce Levine. Bruce, thanks for joining the show today. And that guy in those lovely spectacles, Jim DeShays. How long has he been calling the games for? It's quite a long time. Been broadcasting since 1997. And last but not least, you hear him on WGN Radio. It's Pete McMurray. Gentlemen, thanks for joining Cubs 360 today, presented by Miller Lite. Let's get this show on the road. And Jim, let's start in a place that you know quite well, Houston, Texas. It's been a long time since you were there, however, during your playing days. And Evan Gattis, as we know, he was a member of that 2017 World Series championship squad. And he admitted that the Astros did, in fact, quote, cheat and steal signs when they did everything that they did. That was on the 755 podcast presented by The Athletic. So what's your thoughts right now on Evan Gattis' stance?
Yeah, and it's a stance we've heard from a few other Astros. They've kind of been all over the map, depending on who's doing the talking on any given day. And remember, there was such a firestorm at the start of spring training when all the media descended on Astros camp. And they frankly didn't score high marks for the way they responded initially. But I think in drips and drabs, we're seeing more and more players coming out, being a little bit more remorseful. Gattis certainly is. It's a crazy situation because when you read that story, you can understand, where he was coming from, where all the Astro players were coming from at the time. They just didn't think very far ahead in that, for them, it was this opportunity to win games, make lots of money, and they didn't really think about the potential downsides to it. I'm not excusing it. Obviously, it was horrible behavior, and they were really good at it, and they ended up winning a World Series. Had that not happened, all of this may not have come to light. So in that sense, I guess it's a good thing, and hopefully baseball can clean it up, and we can move on from here and not have to deal with a situation like this again.
I think he said, we cheated baseball and we cheated the fan. How about we cheated? We cheated. We should vacate the title. They should vacate the title. They should give back the World Series money. They should give back the playoff money. How about we give back the regular season money and the bonuses? They cheated. They got caught. They need to vacate everything. As for the suspensions with Hinch and Luhnow, I would think when the season starts on July 1st that their suspension should last a year. So if the season starts on July 1st, shouldn't it last until July 1st, 2021? Here's the problem. Major League Baseball just wants this to go away. That's the thing. So let's just brush all this under the rug. We'll get done with this season. Everything will go away. But the bottom line is the fans aren't going to forget it.
Well, Pete, you bring up some great points, and I can't say I disagree with you on some, but taking away a championship is also taking it away from the city of Houston, and more importantly, the fans of the Houston Astros, who did absolutely nothing wrong except cheer their team on to the first World Championship in their history. So that is problematic. The problem I have with Gattis is that he waited to retire now to come out and say how wrong they were, how wrong he was, and that mea culpa. I can't live with that right now because he has nothing at stake any longer. If he was still a participating player, I don't think we would have heard from him at this point.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I agree with Bruce's point, and I think that's been the throughout this process. We've always, nobody was a knight in shining armor. Nobody on the Astros actively at the time came out and said, we need to stop this. You heard about A.J. Hinch supposedly smashing monitors, and he wasn't really on board with it. Mike Fiers, to his credit, ultimately came out, but he was playing for a different club at the time and had a stake in it. If you're pitching against the Astros, if you're Mike Fiers, you want that to go away. So, nobody's, as I said, the knight in shining armor in this deal, because nobody confronted it at the time while it was actively going on.
We know that Jim Crane, of course, he relieved A.J. Hinch and Jeffrey Luhnow of their services, but the word on the street, as we just heard, is that if the season gets back underway in 2021, these guys would be back on the field in some way, shape, or form. JD, is this kind of just taking away the element of, okay, A.J. Hinch, you have to sit on the sideline and watch everybody else play, and now everyone else is sitting on the sideline along with A.J. Hinch?
Yeah, but given the freakish nature of what's going on with this with the virus, and the fact that baseball's had to shut down, I don't think it makes any sense to extend AJ Hinch's suspension beyond this year, regardless of how much of a baseball season we have. It's not like he's catching a lucky break, so to speak. And I do expect AJ to get back in. He's widely respected and very well liked around the game. I'm not so sure about Jeff Luhnow. I don't know that he's going to be working in baseball anytime soon, if ever again.
AJ Hinch, when he had that press conference, he showed remorse. And I think we all felt like we wanted to forgive him, but I am so tired of the Astros. Gaddis coming out. Bruce, you're right. He's a retired player. He has absolutely nothing to lose. It's great that they're cleaning up baseball now that I retired and I have a World Series ring. Bruce, I got to disagree with you. This isn't about the fans of Houston. This is about guys cheating in baseball to win a world championship. They cheated. They were outed. They need to vacate the title.
Well, Pete, again, you have great points, but why punish the fans? The game is all about the fans. And they went through a whole season being duped like all of us were. But should they be the ones that suffer not having a world championship to be proud of, and the fact that they have a banner flying over their stadium saying they're the world champions? Again, if you believe in my premise that it's all about the fans, which we know it is, then why punish the individual players? Have not been punished by Major League Baseball. That's the whole problem here. In order for Rob Manfred to be able to sustain that he had a problem here, we had to wait for him to download these guys, and the whole problem is that they promised exoneration for this. If not exoneration, no punishment for it. So the fans around Major League Baseball are going to have their day and their way with the Houston Astros, regardless of whether baseball starts in July, August, or in 2021. That's just the fact of this. They will pay the price at some point.
Bruce, you say that this is for the fans of the Houston Astros, and you can't take that away from them. Don't you think, though, they were already allowed to celebrate, soak all that in, and now all the repercussions and consequences that come down are solely based on the guys that were on the team and on the field?
And there's no precedent for taking away a championship from a organization or from a fan base. It's just, again, what percentage of the cheating affected them winning the world championship? I don't think anyone's smart enough to be able to do that. So I think as baseball fans and baseball people, my opinion, of course, only, we have to move on from that. If you want to punish the players, go for it. I think that one's by the boards too. They're the ones that actually implemented the cheating, and they're the ones that are not suffering from it because of the fact that Major League Baseball needed to certify that this cheating went on, and they needed their admitting of this event. So it's a tough situation. It's not going to get any easier, but I don't think time is going to heal this so quickly.
Yeah, I think two things there, Bruce. One, and you mentioned it earlier, to get to the truth, or as much truth as we've gotten to, Rob Manfred had to make a deal with the players to get them to talk about what went down. So that was the most important thing. Secondly, what the players could do, what they should do, in my humble opinion, is donate their playoff shares, their World Series shares, to some worthy charity. Don't vacate the championship, don't give back the championship rings, but some gesture that is so big that says we're gonna turn all this money over, and it's obviously a very sizable amount of money, and donate it to the Houston Food Bank or some charity there in Houston.
JD, you said you see AJ Hinch potentially getting back into the game, but Jeffrey Lunau, maybe not. Why is that?
I think AJ is very well liked and very well respected around the game. I think he has a lot of currency in the game and a lot of friends. So I see a scenario where he gets back in. I don't know that Jeff has that kind of cachet in the game. I mean, he was very good at what he did. He's a very smart guy, but I don't know that Jeff is as well liked and as well respected by a lot of people in the industry as AJ is.
Okay, how long will that suspension last? Only time will tell. We're still waiting to get back to regular, meaningful baseball. Will it be July 1st? Only time will tell. But once it does reconvene, I know a guy that's out here on the West Coast that plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers that has a whole different spin on how games should be played. That and much, much more coming your way up next right here on Cubs 360, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Okay, thank you guys. Good job there. A couple of things. Cole, were you seeing my messages?
I pulled them up after at 2:08. I pulled it up when the second wrap was in, and then it said the extra innings.
Okay, so that's why. So that's why there's two instances where you guys were talking over each other. Those were directions for you. So okay, so that's why that happened. Otherwise, I thought you guys were good takes there. Everybody's seemed really well versed on the subject, so I appreciate all that. But you guys were all seeing the messages, right? You have Bruce, AD, and Pete. Okay. So that's why we had the talking over each other there, was because Cole wasn't seeing those. All right. Okay, so traffic here. Same thing. Kevin started on a single with Cole. Cole will tee up the topic. Cole, let's go to Bruce first here, okay? Let's go to Bruce here. Okay. Then Bruce, Pete, you can take it off Bruce, and then JD, you can take it off of Pete, and then I'll dictate the conversation after that. All right, but this is the segment, guys, where we're talking about Justin Turner and his idea of how Major League Baseball should be handling extra innings. All right, so we want to go around 5 minutes here tops. So we went a little long there. So just make sure you guys are checking out the messenger. All right,
got it.
Got it.
You good, Cole?
All good.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back once again on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. I'm Cole Wright, your master of ceremonies. It's a loose term right about now, but let's bring the guys back in. Pete McMurray, JD, Jim DeShays, and of course, Bruce Levine. And gentlemen, this fresh take right here, we're bringing it to you by Miller Lite because there's a guy out here I just talked about before we hit the break on the West Coast that plays for the Dodgers named Justin Turner, who has a funny idea, almost like an international extra innings rule. He thinks, though, that if games go to extra innings this season, in order to maximize the amount of contests played and all things in between, he thinks that they should go to the long ball. Chicks dig it, after all, right, Bruce? Go to a home run derby to see who's the actual victor of the games. Are you on board with this?
No, not at all. I think there are some simple solutions to this, and if you go to a 10th inning, I think you go to a tie. That's the simplest solution, and a tie, you end up winning percentage makes you the champion. The ties can be kind of vanilla, no outcome to them, but in order to save pitching and arms for baseball, I think this is what it's all about. In time, that would be my solution. As far as you're bringing in some batting practice pitcher to throw for a home run derby who has no major league abilities, or if he did, they were a long time ago. And then all of a sudden, what are we going to start signing batting practice pitchers? Who throws the best BP? Is that going to be the element of what decides a baseball game? I'm not with it. I mean, I appreciate Turner's effort, but that's not going to get it done for me.
I love Justin Turner. He's that guy that you want to hang out with at a bar in Wicker Park. I love his enthusiasm, but we all agree that something's got to be done with the extra innings because it's draining your bullpen. There's been talk about putting a runner on second base in the 11th inning. If you were serious about it, why not top of the 10th, put a runner on second? Top of the 11th, put a runner on second and third. Top of the 12th, load the bases if you really want to get out of extra innings. That, to me, seems like a solution, JD.
Yeah, and I think remember when you were in school and the teacher said there's no such thing as a dumb question. I think that we're in that phase right now with not knowing how much baseball we're going to get to play here. There's no such thing as a really dumb idea. I'm not so sure how serious Justin Turner is when he floated the home run derby. I would imagine somewhere Willie Mo Pena is licking his chops that he's going to be able to sign a contract and come and be the designated batting practice extra inning home run derby guy. And remember when we were kids, you do the deal where you'd start a runner at home plate and then you race in opposite directions around the bases.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we could settle ties that way. And then we just maybe have a big collision out at second base and have two players making $28 million sliding into home plate at the same time, ripping up their knees. The extra innings has been a problem even without a shortened season. It certainly will be now. We're going to try to, once we resume play, they're going to try to jam as many games into a short period of time as possible. So you can't afford to be playing 16 and 17 inning games and burning out your bullpen. So I think they will have to do something. I love Turner's idea because it's crazy and it's fun. I don't think it's practical. I'm more on board with the more logical solution, that being put a man on second base to start the extra inning and play maybe one or two extra innings at most, and then declare it a tie.
Pete, JD just said it isn't practical, but the one thing that he also said is that it's fun. It jumps off the page. I think there would be plenty of fan involvement, and it's not really that easy to find a guy who can just groove batting practice fastballs in order for them to hit him over the fence.
We all
I spent
love
half my
home
career
runs.
doing it, Cole.
JD and Paul, we love home runs. Bruce, we love home runs, but come on. I mean, that's not practical. But JD, you're right. If you really want to only make it 2 innings, why not load the bases in the top of the 10th to get it over with? Because you don't want to drain your bullpen. You don't.
Yeah,
Let me get this right. You play a whole game of regular baseball, and then you change the rules at the end, okay? Just to get it over with. Is that where we've gone in baseball, where we just want to get the conclusion? We don't really care about any of the other element? To me, that's not practical. If you want something practical, 10th inning, you play one more extra inning, and then you have a tie. Nobody likes ties. I know it. Count it as a point, count it as nothing. But at the end of the day or the end of the year, the best winning percentage wins, and that's how you go about it. Because changing the rules and punishing the pitcher and the defense right away by putting somebody on base, I mean, he didn't earn that. Baseball's all about earning everything you do. To me, if you're that concerned with a conclusion to a game, come up with a time clock. 2 hours, 42 minutes to game, whether it's the 7th inning or the 10th. If you're that concerned with it, move on that way.
Yeah, the level of concern is so high. It sounds crazy. It'd almost be like putting a time limit on pitchers in between pitches, or telling a pitcher that, okay, you're going to put this guy on, just free pass right there. You don't have to actually throw the balls anymore. But that's one thing that we've seen evolve in this game, and we will see the evolution as the days, weeks, and months continue. Now, still to come right here, it's going to be a little tricky for Jed Hoyer and Theo to evaluate collegiate players because, after all, there's no collegiate season right now. Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. We're coming back right after this.
A tie? Really?
Good job.
Man on second.
A tie?
Good idea.
What?
Who gets the earned cut? The guy in the stands.
I like that, guys. Good segment there. One thing that I do like what you just did there, Pete. Like you guys talking a little bit after Cole reads the bump. I like that. So it makes it seem like the conversation is continuing. So it doesn't feel canned. Like I really like that's a nice little touch that we could put on each little segment. So that'd be good. All right, but good job here, guys. You got much better with following the directions. So
Suzanne, I stopped to be blind.
can obviously see that Cole had his up there, and that flowed a lot better. So this segment we're a little heavy. Probably have enough time just to hear from one of you each. So Cole, let's start with JD. I mean, JD is our former player on the panel here, so let's hear his opinion about how Moby's going to move forward without being able to scout college players and so forth. So here we'll probably go JD, Bruce, and Pete, and then probably wrap up the segment there. So let's try and tighten this segment up.
And JD, you were straight to affiliated ball, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
but I would not have been drafted in the first. They're going to do a 5-round draft. Is that what they're talking about doing this year? So
Yeah. Do you think, though, had you have gone to college and played, would you have been drafted?
I drafted out. I was drafted out of high school, didn't sign, went to college, and signed out a senior in college.
Okay.
So a guy in my position would be screwed this year.
Watching when Bruce was making a point about ties, you could see Pete making a face and shaking his head. Don't be afraid to take a reaction, just a single of Pete doing that. You know what I mean?
Copy that.
What's wrong with that? And then though, Malik, if something like that happens, you try to get the Pete off that Pete and have Cole say, "Pete, you look like you disagree there." You know?
It's just I'm not seeing that. So that's something we can talk about after, because that may be better done in post. So, but we'll talk about it. All good. So here we go, guys.
Is that you, Mike?
Yeah, Tantini.
Nice. What's up, Mike?
What are we doing?
Not bad. Can't complain.
Good. Looks good today.
All right, guys. Here we go. You ready, Cole?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, back again for the third time on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. And now we go the route of the collegian, because right now, as everyone knows, there's a complicated situation with COVID-19, especially when it comes to collegiate baseball players, because the season, it has been dashed. However, there has been an extra season of eligibility that's been granted to players. But when it comes to the draft, we talked about Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer being able to evaluate some of these guys, and that evaluation process, it will no longer be there. And there's also word that the draft could only be 5 rounds. This is a draft that's gone so deep in years past. JD, this is a different situation that we've never seen, and it really could affect some of these guys that could potentially come in those double-digit rounds.
Sure, and I was one of them. I was a 21st round draft pick as a senior in college. So, if I was in that situation now, I might not have ever played professional baseball. These kids are really getting a tough shake. There's nothing anybody can do about it. If they draft 5 rounds, there's going to be all kinds of players heading back to college, whether it's juniors, draft eligible juniors will be going back for their senior year, seniors going back for another year of college ball, the chance to get hurt, all the things that come with it. How much baseball they get to play this summer, nobody knows. High school kids that thought about signing a professional contract will be heading off to college in far greater numbers. So it's a wild unknown out there right now. I guess the good news from the Cubs' point of view is they are no more disadvantaged than anybody else in the game. Everybody's in the same boat, and they're going to have to make their draft picks based on knowledge and scouting that they've already done up to this point.
JD and gentlemen, the problem here is, where do those high school kids go? Those scholarships that were going to be given up by those guys that were moving on, granted an extra year of eligibility, won't be there for the high school kids. What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to find a way to go to college if they can't afford to pay for it? There's a big can of worms involved in this, and unfortunately, when the scholarships are so few to begin with, if those are still intact, we got a big problem with high school kids and how they get to college, how they get taken care of, how do they matriculate from that point on. Very difficult, and it might not only carry on this year, but it'll carry on into the following year. So very difficult process all the way around.
I do love that the NCAA is giving the spring sport athletes an extra year of eligibility. For the juniors that were going to come out in the draft, we're sorry. For the seniors, you get to come back and do it again. But guys, we've never been through this before. We're figuring it out day by day, week by week, month by month, always on the fly. The great John Wooden, we all remember John Wooden. He used to say, when you worry about things beyond your control, it adversely affects the things you can control. Control what you can control, work with the facts, work on those decisions, and you go from there. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and we know that there's that pyramid of success when it comes to John Wooden. And if you're a senior who was going to have that all that eligibility gone, now you'll be back and you potentially be 22 as opposed to 21. So if you read that John Wooden pyramid of success, take it to heart and make the best out of the next upcoming season. Now, there's still more to come right here on Cubs 360, including a quarterback that has 6 Super Bowl championships, and now he's a tenant of a guy that has 5 championships in a completely different sport. We'll tell you all about it as soon as we return. Hustle on.
Try one more time.
Did you guys hear me there?
No.
No. So, okay, Cole, good job with that. You just kept reading. We lost Bruce for a second there, and you just kept reading. I don't know if you saw that and reacted to that. But
I saw Bruce go black, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody
so just-
called me.
that's
I
what
didn't
you
have
do.
that on block.
That's fine. That's fine. You guys all did the right thing. So that's
Yeah,
going to
I don't
happen.
wanna
Just
stop
keep
down
in
there.
mind, the show is posted. This is not a live show. So we can always fix things and edit. All right. So you guys did the right thing there.
Kevin, can you stop the recording?
Copy that.
Give me a second, guys. I'm just figuring out some timing, and then we'll know how much we have to hit on with Jeter and Brady.
Recording is stopped.
How do you guys think this Tom Brady in Tampa shakes out?
I don't
have
want to give
enough
my
NFL
answer away.
knowledge to have a learned opinion. I will defer to you on that one, Cole.
I mean, Bruce Arians, they say he's a quarterback whisperer, but I know quarterbacks aren't really great in their first year with him. I mean, I just covered it. I don't feel like I'm an NFL aficionado or expert by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, when you look at what Tom Brady has to offer, I mean, he's 42.
He's old.
Yeah, but I feel like 42 is a lot different than 42 at 25 years ago. But then again, I wasn't 41 25 years ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, he might get a little boost in a new spot, just to change the scenery.
Right?
How did he play this year? How was he league average this year? Was he?
I think a little bit better than average. I have to look, go back and look at his stats. I haven't done any radio for in a while, so I don't know exact numbers, but he wasn't top 5. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He had bad receivers too this year. He didn't really have anybody to throw to.
That's true.
But he's
In the running
42.
game,
Guys.
I mean, it's also true.
Hey, guys, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I need to
Yep.
readjust
Okay, great.
something here.
So we have about a minute 40 here. So let's just do this. Cole, quickly tee up the story.
Yep.
Go to Pete first, then JD, and then we'll end with Bruce. We'll just go down the line. So this is going to be a good test here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a minute over there on your messenger. I'm going to put a 45, a 30, and then a 20. So if somebody is talking at 20, they should know to wrap up their point quickly and let
You got it.
Cole get off the air, okay?
Got it.
So it's going to be a
I'm gonna
minute,
take it
a
right-
45, a 30, a 20, and whoever's talking at that point, let's wrap it up. But we're just going to go right down the line here. Pete, JD,
I'm not
Bruce.
getting a text now.
I know I haven't texted anything.
Okay.
Starting with Pete here, Malik.
Take it right to 20 and leave you hanging, Bruce.
Yep.
Right.
Malik, how did everything get off with so smooth today, though? I mean, we haven't had any hiccups at all on any of the boxes.
Yeah, no, our guys and our engineering director, they worked on some things. So hopefully this
Nice.
is where we're going to be, moving forward. Yesterday was an aberration. So it happens. But, we're all learning. So let's just keep the good mojo going here and do this last segment. And you guys can be on with your merry day. All right? All right. You ready, Cole?
Yep.
So, Kevin, again, down the line. Pete, JD, Bruce.
Copy that.
Here we
I'm
go.
recording.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Cole Wright back here with you on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. The gentlemen, they're still here. Pete, JD, and Bruce. And guys, Tom Brady, TB12. He's living down in Tampa, and his landlord is Derek Sanderson Jeter. Pete, that's a pretty high rent landlord he has going on there.
What do you pay on rent a month for a 30,000 square foot house with 9 bathrooms?
Yeah.
You got 3 kids, Tom. Do you need 9 bathrooms? Mm-hmm. Listen, Red Sox fans, they're crazy. They're angry. They're going to be mad at anything Yankee related. Tom Brady renting from Derek Jeter. He's the enemy. That's what's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
7 bedrooms. It's got a billiards room that wraps around a swimming pool that leads out to 2 boat lifts that take you right into Tampa Bay. It's like cats and dogs living together. It's like Rizzo renting the pool house, I guess. People are up in arms in New England because Tom Brady is living in Derek Jeter's house. It's an abomination.
Yep.
Hey, I got a great title for this new reality show. I don't think it's ever been used. Let's call it the Brady Bunch. Oh, I'm sorry.
And you put everybody's head in a square. Bruce.
When you look at Tom Brady, the star power, Derek Jeter, the star power, this is a fascinating story. The house should be permanently watched by the media for the entire time they live there. That's what it should be all about. It should be its own reality show. It's probably going to be much more interesting than what he's able to do for the Tampa Bay team this year on the football field. So let's watch them go in and out of the house. And the house, it looks like a smaller version of Yankee Stadium anyway. So let's just watch that on the background. It'll be fun the rest of the year.
Yeah, Tom Brady with 2 boat lifts. He's going to be jumping in the boat and taking off like Marty Bird in Ozark. Well, guys, our time here has come to a conclusion on Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. But not to fear. Coming up next, it's The Stadium with our guy, Michael Kim. Until next time, we'll see you then.
All right. You guys are clear for today. Thank you. Good job, guys. Appreciate the help. Appreciate you guys.
Well.
Hey, JD, just remember, keep that setup moving forward, all right?